Greetings, everybody, and welcome to the show. Tonight we got a special edition of Blastcast. We're doing CatCat Cast. That's right. We're going to talk about CatCat and Piggygirl, or as otherwise known as Piggygirl. She calls it Piggygirl. So, um, we're going to talk about the book tonight. We're going to meet some of the creators, some of the other people who have had something to do with the book, find out who they are, so I can link this to the Kickstarter as well. Just so people, when they go by and they see the project, they go, "Who's CV Zane? Who's Rodney Fyke? Who's Russell Allen? Who's Chuck? Who's Stef Kerry?" I mean, the circleist, templatist, masterist of the world. But anyway, without further ado, we're going to bring out our first guest tonight. We're going to do 15-minute intervals, and we're going to talk to the guest, kick them out, and bring on the next guest. So without further ado, we're going to bring out Sir Rodney Fyke. What's going on, buddy?
Hey man, how we doing?
Doing good, doing good. I hear you've been coloring all day.
I've been coloring for the last 4 days.
For the last 4 days.
Yes.
You're a coloring fiend, and you got producer B, back there doing a lot of work for you too. She's becoming a flat master, so you guys are tearing it up.
As if she doesn't do enough already.
I know, right? I'm
We got
telling
it.
you. So Rodney is our interior illustrator. You also did the main cover for the book,
Yep.
and tell me a little bit about. Sorry, I had like six messages come through. I'm like, what? Tell us a little bit about what you think about the book and where you're at with it.
I am currently working on the third page coloring. Um, and it's funny because I'm teaching Tina how to flat, and she's getting pretty good at it. But I haven't colored in a while, so it's because I wear a bunch of different hats as we both do. So I don't color for 4 months because I'm writing or I'm drawing. So when I get back into doing it, it takes me a day or two to get back into the rhythm. So like it took me a day and a half to do one page, and now I'm up to a page and a half just today. So it's doing pretty good. So we're on. This will be the third page colored when I'm done with this page, and I will finish this page tonight before I stop. And then we've got 9 more pages. The cover's already colored. Sean Forney lent his amazing talents to that cover, so we thank
Yes,
him.
he did.
Did a beautiful job. So yeah, it's been crazy. It's been a lot of fun, um, and trying to get it done and as quick as possible. There we go.
There it is right there, folks. Sorry, guys. I've had a heck of a day. It all went downhill after I got
Look
off
at
work,
that
so I didn't get
filthy
to.
thumb.
Oh yeah, yeah. Look at that filthy thumb. I literally like got done mowing the grass like 10 minutes ago, guys, and I just got off work. My weed eater broke with 50 feet left to weed eat, so I'm rushing down here trying to show Tiffany how to do producing so she can put stuff up for me. Like I literally just took my pants and my shirt off and threw another shirt on. I got grass all in my hair. So there's the cover, folks, that Rodney did for book one of Cat Cat and Piggy Girl with colors by Sean Forney. Um, so you guys have been awesome. Not only has Rodney and Tina donated a ton of art for the CB4K auctions and books and raised a bunch of money, prints, you name it. You guys have been a heck of a help with helping me raise money for the charity to send books, pop figurines, Pez dispensers, and all this good stuff to these kids. And then I said, hey, I need somebody to do interiors for me for this book. Is there anybody out there that would be willing to lend a hand? And Rodney, of course, uh, volunteered. So, guys, please check out hasm.com. Rodney's got some great projects. You got Pitter Patter, Peanut Pudding and Jelly. And for the adults, you've got Roadkill Rampage. So they have donated a lot of their time, a lot of their work, and the cover is beautiful. The interiors are coming along beautifully. So please, not only back the book, go check out hasm.com. Check out the things that they have to offer. You can see that awesome banner in the background right there. That'll be the next book that they'll be publishing, Roadkill Rampage
Book
3.
three.
Book 3 will be coming out. So I definitely, that's something I want to do when I bring on each one of these creators, each one of the people that has had something to do with this book, is to, shout out what they do in their own time, because Rodney and Tina have donated, I mean, absolute immense amounts of time. They did all the interiors, the cover, they're coloring it like madmen. So I'm really excited about this. So I do want to ask a question of you, Rodney, and I hate to put you on the spot. I normally don't do this, but tell me what CB4K means to you, if you would, please.
CB4K to me means a smile on a child's face. Um, it means a diversion from the hell that they're going through at the moment, a distraction from the scary, um, and it's invaluable. I had some pretty rough times when I was a kid, and I remember what it was like to receive a toy or to find a comic book at the grocery store, and how it offered that moment of escape. So I can totally relate to it. So it's got a special place in my heart. Um, and anytime we can do anything to help put smiles on children's faces, especially the children that are in the hospitals and were alone in the hospitals during the pandemic, um, you know, that's that's you don't even have to ask. That's just goes without saying. So that's what it means to me.
And that's wonderful. And I appreciate everything that you guys have done. You've been immensely helpful. And, one of the exciting things about you working on this book is Rodney is excited because he's like, man, this is like the best art that I've done. Oh, don't. Tina told me her secret. She said Rodney is just so fascinated with this art because he's like, man, I love the style that's developing with this new art. So not only has it been a fun project because you're helping kids and you're helping put smiles on their faces and hopefully, take them out of whatever pain they're going through, but you've grown too
Yeah,
in doing this book, and so it's exciting in two ways for you because your art is evolving.
yeah. It's interesting because the next project that we're hopping onto right after this one, also involves children. There are children in it, so I was doing some preliminary sketches the other day to present, and just whipped out these new kids like boom, boom, boom. So, and then I keep thinking about when it's time to hop on to Pitter Patter issue 3 and start doing the pencils for that. It's just every book under that we get under our under the banner that we get done and it's on the table is one more book that I'm better. Because as artists we're always growing, we're always constantly learning. So yeah, it's cool to not only do I get to help and offer my services for the kids in a good cause, but at the same time I get it. It goes with helping me improve my style. So develop my style. So it's cool for a bunch of different reasons.
Well, I really do appreciate you guys setting aside your projects to work on this project. It means the world to me because, uh, to tell a little bit about myself before we bring on more guests after Rodney is, for those of you out there, uh, my son was born with e- extremely rare congenital heart defects. He has truncus arteriosus and an interrupted aortic arch, an out of order subclavian, and a VSD. And so they had to put in a cadaver artery for open heart surgery. They had to put in a cadaver artery, and then they had to cut his subclavian, move it into the right order, and then they used that tissue to form a bridge in the gap in his aorta. And so the gap in his aorta is 60% his tissue and 40% Gore-Tex. And so he had his first surgery at a week old. And then we moved on, and he had a cardiac cath done in 11 months. And then at 2.5 years after another cardiac cath, we found out that he had to have another open heart surgery. So we sat in a room for 12 hours, the size of a telephone booth. And it was gruesome. We answered the phone when they called, and they're like, "Hey, everything's going okay so far," and we're like, "Thank God." We hang up the phone, then they call back and said he's done at like 2 o'clock, and we're like, yes, So we hang up, we're waiting to get to go upstairs, and then we got to call back. We got to open him back up. There's a leak in the coronary artery that they put in. So we didn't get upstairs till like 7 o'clock, and surgery started at 7. We got there at 5 because we had to get there 2 hours early. So it's been over 12 hours. We're exhausted. We go upstairs. He's awake, and he's just rolling around in pain, and we don't know how to help him. We have no clue how to help our own child. How to comfort him, how to tell him how do you tell a 2.5-year-old to sit still because it's going to make it hurt worse. So, here comes this nurse with a 99-cent Hot Wheel from Walmart. It's a Spider-Man car. And all of a sudden, he just forgets about everything, like the pain that he's in. He sits still. He's sitting there driving the car around. Yeah, he's in pain, but he's not focused on it. And it's not just great for the kids. It's great for the parents because it gave us 15, 20 minutes to go sit back, just unload for the day. We're exhausted, be there for each other, and just wind down and be like, all right, we made it through the day. He made it through another surgery. Everything's going to be okay. So, to summarize everything, fast forward, I find out about CB4K like a few months later. Here's this charity that sends comic books, pop figurines, Pez dispensers, coloring books, stuffed animals, all kinds of stuff to hospitals and cancer centers nationwide. And I was like, man, this is a great charity. This is kind of a way for me to give back. So I started giving every week. Every week I sent $20, $30, whatever I could spare. And in 2019, I met Mark with CB4K. And I told him, I said, hey, I can't thank you enough. This is a great thing that you do. Here's my son. You have no idea how much this impacts the parents too. It just doesn't help the kids. It helps the parents because it gives us a sigh of relief. And so, um, I guess it was about a year goes by. I had a bunch of stuff happen in my life that, really wasn't good. And I decided, hey, you know what? I'm going to take a chance. I'm going to publish the book that I've had written for 10 years. I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it happen. This is my biggest regret not doing this. And I had an idea. I was like, you know what would be really cool? I'll take my character and see if somebody will do a t-shirt. So Steph Wilson did I'm a Titan for CB4K t-shirt for me. It was me as my character reading a book to Roderick after an open heart surgery with Sissy at the end of the bed. And I think I still have it in here. I'll show it off. But anyway, to continue on, so I put that up. My project failed, but Mark's seen the t-shirt and he reached out to me and he's like, hey man, I love the shirt. I've been looking for somebody to do this. Nobody will answer me. How would you like to be the official t-shirt supplier for CB4K? And I was like, yeah, heck yeah, let's do this. So I reached out to Rodney and April and Wendy, and they all were gracious enough to do pieces. And I put the shirts up on my website. And then I started doing charity auctions, which, Rodney and Tina have been so gracious in donating art and prints and original art covers and light up prints. I mean, all kinds of cool stuff. Raised a ton of money for the kids. And I thought, so fast forward to November of last year. I'm an official member of CB4K. I offer their t-shirts. I do the charity auctions. We went and hung out with Stef and Kerry, and we'll have them on a little later. And so Kerry was like, you ought to do like a comic book or something and try, that would be a cool idea to raise money for CB4K. So I pondered on it and I was like, you know what? It'd be really cool. Let's not just do a comic to raise money. Let's do a comic to raise money to print more comics and write the comics geared directly for kids that are sick in the hospital. So thus was born CatCat and Piggygirl. A month later, I'm like, I got it. And my wife's like, what, COVID? What do you got? And I'm like, I've got the idea. What is the one thing Roderick always takes to the hospital with him? It's his stuffed animal. And I'm like, what if their stuffed animals give them superpowers? And then you got these kids in the hospital that are going to read this story. They have their stuffed animal. And now instead of worrying about, they're going through chemo or they're going through this stuff by themselves, because of COVID, they're immunocompromised, their parents can't be there. Now they got this book that they can read. It's going to inspire them to go on adventures with their stuffed animal and help them get out of their head and forget about the stuff that they're doing. So that's how the idea was born. I shot it out to a couple of people. I asked, for art, and like you said, Rodney was gracious enough to do the interior art, and this is absolutely going to be an adorable story. The art is looking great. Rodney shot me a colored page, and I was like, oh my gosh, they're so cute. And it's just awesome. So I'm super excited for this. I don't know where Chuck is. Chuck should be joining us shortly. Um, yeah, it's gonna be one of those days. But I love it. Let's see. Let me message Chuck. There we go. I messaged him. So yeah. So here we've got this awesome comic, and let's see. Is this? Yeah, there's a shirt right there that Rodney did for. That's available on the website. I'm a champion for comic books for kids. You've got Buddy and Dude from Pitter Patter reading a book with a child in a hospital bed. Uh, it was a really fun idea. We were shooting around stuff, and I said, you guys are gracious enough to do your art. I want you to figure out some way to put your characters in there and show off, your work, your character. So when people see this and they go, well, who's that? And I can tell them, well, that's Buddy and Dude from Pitter Patter, a book you need to check out. Because you know what, hashtag always promote.
Yeah.
We got to promote everybody. That we're all a community, and this is what CatCat and Piggygirl is all about: is getting the community together, rallying up, trying to share this out to everybody that we can, and get as many copies sold so we can send hundreds of copies. I want Mark to pass out and be like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do with all these books? I emailed him. This is funny. So I emailed him yesterday or the day before, and I said, here's the link to the Kickstarter. We're launching Tuesday at 8:30 Central Time. I hope you have room for 2,000 books. And I put the smirk face. And he replied back, and he was like, oh boy. He's like, this is awesome, though. I love it. I can't wait to see what happens. So this is exciting, guys. We're going to keep pumping these out. Issue 2 is going to include a random child. I'm going to create a page for CatCat and Piggygirl where kids can go and post pictures of them with their stuffed animals going on adventures and give them something to look forward to. In the back of the book or the front of the book, we're going to have in there, here's a link to the page. You guys can go there, you'll post pictures, and then you can have a chance at being a sidekick in the next issue. So,
sounds like a good time. You should have Mark. You should bring Mark on one night and talk to Mark about it.
I've asked Mark to come on, and our schedules always conflict with each other.
Yeah.
He's a busy guy. That's why I try to handle a lot of things. It's not because I try to be controlling and be like, oh, I want everything to come through me because I'm master CB4K. Mark asked me to try to handle stuff as much as I can on my own with everything, just because of the pure fact that it's Mark and his daughter and like one other person. They have 170 hospitals to ship to. Actually, I think it's 174 now. We also have a branch in Canada. And now, exciting announcement about, I guess, a month ago now, the UK had been reaching out and like, man, I wish we had something like that here. And so I said, hey, here's Mark's info. Get in contact with him. So after them deliberating for a few months and talking about it, there is now officially CB4K in the UK for kids in hospitals and cancer centers there. So it's growing massively. And Mark and his daughter are just absolutely slammed, not only doing inventory, taking shipments that are coming in, they're boxing up orders. These hospitals ask for 2 or 3 boxes each. Cost them about $25 to $30 and shipping, well, probably 40 now. Your shipping's almost doubled, just to send a box out. So that's what we raise the money for the auctions. All the stuff that I have on the Comic Russ Explode Studios charity auctions for CB4K goes towards sending them money to ship this stuff to the hospitals and cancer centers. Rodney, I apologize for keeping you after a little bit. I don't know what happened to Chuck. Chuck's not responding.
Chuck's on Pacific time.
He's on Pacific time. That's the worst thing. Everybody's on different time zones. And so, like, for you right now, it's 9:23. And so, like, I'll be like, hey, man, I'm going to bring you on at 8. And then, you're thinking 8 your time. That happened the other day. It was so funny. I was eating dinner, and I got a message. And he was like, hey, I'm here, bro. Where are you? Are you okay? And I was like, dude, it's only 7 o'clock. He's like, oh, yeah, you told me like 20 times it's Central Time. He's like, I'm sorry. Now I feel like an idiot. So it happens all the time. So I hopefully Stef and Kerry will come on here shortly. If you've got to go, you can go ahead and go, and I can talk.
I'll hang for a few minutes to see if Chuck shows
Yep.
up.
We can.
All right.
We
Do you want to show some of the pages you're working on? Does he want him to see?
yeah, you if we can, I'd like to show that page that I did with the background.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's show it off. Can you share screen it? And
Yeah.
I'll accept it.
Scoot over.
I'll
Just
just
scoot over a little bit.
Hi, producer B.
Hi. He can't see you for a minute. It's not that page, right?
No.
Which one is it?
I think it's 2. No,
No,
that's
that's
2. I think it's 4. Where'd it go?
That's completed flats.
Yeah, there we go. There it
This
is.
one?
Yeah, it is 4.
Okay, so we got that. We got share screen, window, Chrome tab. Why is it not doing it?
You gotta hit share.
No, I have to pick it. Let me go to my computer and do it.
Okay, hang on. She's gonna go to her computer.
Stand by, folks. Technical difficulties. That never happens here, ever.
No.
Tell Tiffany not to put me in.
She said to tell not to put her in.
Tiffany's not here, so Tiffany had to leave, and she's taking Sissy to the hospital. So
Gotcha.
I'm in control of producing now. She's like, I'm sorry, I've got to go. So while I was at work today, they were wrestling, and Adriana hit her head, and she seemed fine, but she started throwing up right before we went live, and so Tiffany's like, I'm gonna run her over, make sure she doesn't have a concussion.
Okay. Well, let's hope she's okay.
Yeah, I'm sure she's fine. She was still acting goofy. She was just a little pukey.
Little
That kid's the clumsiest kid, I swear. Like, this is like the 453rd goose egg she's got. Like, when she was little, it was so funny. She would never watch where she was gone. She'd make these faces like, ugh, and then walk right into a wall. And so, her trying to be a smart butt, she would walk right into the wall. And I would laugh so hard. What's up, Stephanopoulos? We will have Stefan in studio with Miss Carrie Ann in 3 minutes, hopefully.
You should start calling her Grace.
Grace?
Yeah, because she's graceful. Walking
Yep.
into walls all the time.
All right, folks, here it is. The art right there. There is, what is that, page 3?
Page 4.
Page 4. Beautiful. I love it. It's going to be so awesome. I'm so excited for this. Guys, this is a new venture for me. So talking about evolving with Rodney evolving with his art, with this, this is like the best art he's done so far, which is great to hear that he's excited about it, and great that it's awesome, because it couldn't be a better project. And this is a new venture for me. I write books. I've always been into comic books, but I've never thought about writing or scripting comic books.
You don't know how to make them.
I don't know how to make them either. I can put a book together, but when it comes to putting together a comic book, luckily I have Rodney and Tina to guide me on how to do this properly, so it doesn't get all messed up. But this is a new venture. I was like, I don't even know how to script comics, and so Wendy reached out to me last year and said, hey, I'd love for you to write a story for Luna Tales.
Oh, thanks, Dad.
Did a great job, Rodney. The script was weak. And so, I wrote a script kind of for Wendy, and she's like, well, it's not really a script. Let me show you how you script out a book. So this was like the first book I actually scripted out myself. And Chuck edited it for me. Chuck Pineau edited the book for me. We made a few changes to it, but I think it turned out really good, and I'm super excited for it. Steph needs to get out of the comments and get ready to get in here so I can kick Rodney out. Where you at, Steph? Get out of the comments. You're supposed to be on the video. Stop stalking Smack, script this week.
Why I oughta.
Why I oughta, you wise guy. So Rodney, I think a novelist could write a story. I did write a story. Get out of here. Stop being mean. You know, this is supposed to be for charity, sir. You take your snark and you just get out of here with it. And get in here. It's freaking 1 minute till. Are you gonna be fashionably late as usual, stuff? In the comments, you're supposed to be on the live right now.
Leave your snark at the door.
Leave your snark at the door. Carrie, get on to him. Smack him around a little bit for me. So I'm super excited for this. This is gonna be a lot of fun, and I can't wait to see where this goes. Get a bunch of copies out to the kids, and you know, it's not about making money. It's not about anything. All profit from this is going to printing extra books. I'm not keeping a penny of this. Everybody has given up their time. Rodney, thank you so much for giving up your time and for putting your projects aside to do this. I really, truly appreciate it. Folks, please go check out Hazm.com. That's HAZZUM. I'll pop it in the comments here. And go buy some stuff from Hazm and, you know, support them for, you know, giving up their time. We really appreciate it. Rodney, thanks for coming on. I'm going to kick you out, sir. I appreciate you hanging out. And everyone, there's the website right there. You have a good night, sir.
You too, everybody. Have fun. We'll talk soon. Bye.
Bye. And here we have Stef Kerry in.
Hello, how are you?
Hello. Good. How are you doing?
Good.
So we have Stef Kerry here. So I did tell everybody the story a little bit ago. So we went and hung out with Stef Kerry for Tiffany's birthday, and Kerry had an idea of let's make a comic book. Let's it's Carrie's fault. It's all Carrie's fault. And see, she volunteered Stef, and Stef's like, "What are you doing volunteering me?" No, he really actually loves it. He just likes to try to look hard on the outside, but he's really just a softie, and we love him. But you know, Carrie's like, "What do you think about doing a comic book?" And I was like, "That's a great idea. We could, you know, we can raise money for CB4K." And then I get to thinking, you know, a lot of books aren't geared towards kids in the hospital. A lot of books aren't, you know. They send, you know, Disney and this and that to, you know, the hospitals. But what about a book about a child that has some kind of, you know, issues, you know, like Roderick and Adriana? And I never really thought about using them. And then when I came up with the idea for CatCat Piggygirl, I was like, this is great. You know, instead of raising money for CB4K, we'll use it to print books. And this is the cover right here that Stef Kerry did.
So cute.
And it's so cute. I'm super excited for this. You know, thanks to everybody that's joining in right now. So I want to ask you guys what I asked Rodney. You know, you guys have donated stuff for me to auction off for CB4K as well, and I'm super appreciative for it. You blew me away. Like, I was out mowing the grass like literally 10 minutes before this. Like, my weed eater broke, and so I grabbed the push mower, and I'm just like, whatever. And so I come inside, and then I seen like Stef drew the art on the inside of the books, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's awesome. I love it. So that's really cool. So guys, there's going to be some add-ons that get added on. There's going to be Xenonanite Titan with art on the inside cover by Mr. Stephanopoulos Wilson. Here we go. We're gonna show it off right now. There you go. So you'll be able to pick these up on there. All proceeds from this as well will go towards CB4K for printing the books. There's going to be 2 of those available. Steph's going to send those to me. Let's see. What did I do here? My producer left me. Oh, and there's the other one right there. Go back to it. There we go.
There you go.
Apologies. My producer left me. Adriana hit her head, and she just started throwing up right when we started the show. So I'm like, I got to do it all by myself.
Yeah.
No, I think she's okay, but we just want to make sure she doesn't have a concussion. So
Oh, of course, yes.
But those will be available as add-ons, folks. So I haven't quite decided if I'm going to do a tier or do an add-on. I don't feel it's fair to do a tier because then everybody can snipe it. So maybe I'll add it to the add-ons. I don't know. You don't know. You'll have to look and find it. It could be a tier. It could be an add-on. You never know. I like to mix it up. But and then you got Stef here. At least it's shorter than Zeno and Anti-Titan. Mr. Snark Industries over there. You better watch it, Stef. So tell me, guys, what does CB4K mean to you?
Well, CB4K for me, kids are just so important, and kids that are struggling and families that are struggling. I love this organization because it takes care of the kids. And, and you've been through it. I've been thankful not have to be through it, but I can only imagine how important a kid would feel getting something special. And that's why I think it's such a great organization, because it does. It focuses on the kids, and they're the ones that need it.
Yep. And something that I added in on the video is a video. So I'm going to put the share link up later tonight for those of you that want to go look at some of the tiers that are available. There will be retailer tiers available. So please reach out to retailers, people that you know that own stores online that sell books. Tell everybody that there's retailer tiers on here. There's, I believe there's a 10 and a 20 that I've set up on there. You've got the what did I call it? The squeeze something. I don't know. My brain scrambled. But oh man, it has been crazy. Lewis Torres wants a Mega Baller tier. Yeah, I need to make a Mega Baller tier, like $1 million. We need to get like some kind of celebrity on that. But there are retailer tiers on here, guys. So please tell retailers about this. There's going to be cool add-ons like the original art that Stef and Kerry did. So I'm super thankful for that. Well, look, there's Chuck Pineau. He's late. Let's just add him in. Let's make a sandwich here.
Hey, Chuck.
What's up, Mr. Lady McLaderson?
How are you, buddy?
Just like an editor. Just like an editor.
Be late?
Yeah.
Well, I just decided I would. You got to show up fashionably late, and this is fashionable. Yeah, when you're this hot, yeah.
So Chuck is our editor on CatCat and Piggygirl. Hi, Wendy.
Hey,
Chuck
girl.
and Barrett. Create a panel show. That's favorite.
I think Barrett Russell was on To Tell the Truth or something with Kitty Carlisle.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't know. I'm not 60.
I love that.
Oh, boom! Look at that. I typed voice to text. It's okay, Wendy. I was just giving you trouble. I'm a Barrett 50 caliber. Apparently, I'm just high caliber. That's what you're trying to say. It's all right. I get it. So Chuck is our editor on the book. Like I said, Kerry gave us the idea stuff. Couldn't decline doing such an awesome thing for kids. But it is a great thing that we're doing here. We're helping kids out. We're giving them solace, taking them away from the pain that's in their life. And this isn't just a fun book for the kids. This is gonna be a fun book for you guys. If you got grandkids, if you have kids, they're gonna love this story. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Story. It really is. It's cute. It's uplifting. It's really cute. It's a good story.
The covers are adorable.
Absolutely.
The risque covers are just phenomenal.
Stop it.
Yeah, they are. The risque covers are great.
I edited out all the cursing, which was against every fiber of my being, but I did it just for you kids out there.
Tone the language down, just a scooch.
Well, we are doing the adult version too, where Dad is passed out on the park bench with a bottle of whiskey, and
See, in my version, Dad left a long time ago to grab milk, and he just. That's it.
He's like, "Where's the kids at? I thought my wife had. Oh no, I left them at the park."
The sequel.
The sequel. The sequel. Where is CatCat? And where in the world is CatCat and Piggygirl?
Right.
So since I got derailed from what I was saying, so please guys check out. Thanks, Chuck. You're good at derailing. There goes all the viewers. Now we're down to 1. It's all Chuck's fault. No, I'm just kidding. We got 7 people in here. So there's retailer tiers available. There's an all-in tier where you get all 4 covers. You get April's cover, you get CB's, Stef Kerry's, and you get Rodney's cover. It's $100. Each comic book is $30. That includes shipping on all the tiers. I always include shipping in the price, guys. There's not going to be any surprises when you click on stuff. The only time I ever add shipping is I might add $1 or $2 for the add-ons just because of the weight added on. But it's super simple. We're doing nothing but trades. We're not doing virgin covers. The only way you guys are going to be able to get special covers is for everybody chipping in, giving up their time. Everybody's going to get their own comp copies that will be, art proof, artist proof. So you get like a Steph Wilson, SW1 through 10. These are going to be holographic covers. So if you want a special cover, you'll be able to get it from them. And that's kind of a way of repaying these guys for giving up their time and doing this for the kids, just to show appreciation. That way they can make some of the money back for the time they spent working on this. Chuck, I want to take it to you since you're on here. Sorry, guys.
Do you want me to edit that?
Yeah, I do want you to edit that. I had a man stroke last week.
No idea.
Post portion of the show over to Chuck for now.
So my brain is scrambled. I forget what I'm trying to say because I had like a mini stroke in the hospital when I was in pain last week. Like my blood pressure went through the roof, and so my brain's my wiring is not right. I'm getting better though. They're like, oh, you'll have a few side effects from it. We're not worried about it. I'm like, well, whatever, But anyway,
I'd be worried about it right now.
Yeah, I'm worried about it right now because my brain's like. So anyway, so why is CB4K important to you, Chuck?
You know what? First off, kids' books in general are really important because we're trying to get the next generation of comic readers out there. We want, and I'm finding even as a parent myself, more and more, less and less kids are reading in any format at all. So I think being able to get physical books into kids' hands, and especially kids in need, these kids who in the hospital, this is a hope. This is something special. And it is their chance to look away from a screen, because I'm sure a lot of their time is spent watching TV, on the tablet, all that kind of stuff. And so this is something physical that they can enjoy, that they can read over and over and over again, and just have a great time with. And I think what's amazing about this book is that everybody involved it's only done through love. Like all of us, we just wanted to do good for the kids. Right. Nobody has taken a cent from this, and I don't know another book like that except for some of like the really bad collaborator books. You know what I mean? But they're like, look, man, I can't pay you anything, but if you come in and do art for my 24-page book, then we can share the profits on Kickstarter. There won't be any profits, just so you're aware.
Right. You get exposure. Exposure.
Yeah. You get exposure. Woo!
Yeah. Well,
yeah, Chuck and I had some exposure like October 2 years ago. So, we've got enough exposure. Stef's
trying to do his shirt up.
He's like, wait a minute, am I exposing too much here? But yeah, this is purely done out of love, folks. Like, I know $30 sounds like a lot. You guys spend $50, $100 on, risque metals and holographics and stuff like that. But this, for $30, you're getting a 12-page book. I tried to keep it short enough that I wasn't taking up a lot of an artist's time, because again, this is all through donated time. Rodney has spent almost a month working on not only doing pencils, then doing inks. Now him and Tina are coloring and flatting. They also did a cover for it. So I tried to keep it short. It's a 12-page story. It's going to be continued. But, $30, you're getting the book. You're getting it shipped. We're going to have cool stretch goals. We're going to have some add-ons. We're going to do some, I gotta make sure I don't say the bad word. They're phone grips. I can't say the POP socket. I might get sued. So we're going to have phone grips on there. That's going to have CatCat and Piggygirl on it. We've got some trading cards that we're going to do for a stretch goal. Andre Osh is working on a card right now. I've been getting some preliminaries on it, and it is absolutely astounding. I might actually do a mini print, a comic print of it instead of a trading card because it's beautiful. We're gonna have a window cling. Martha Schwartz is working on a window cling for it. But again, it's a 12-page story. I want to make sure everybody knows that ahead of time. But it's a beautiful story. $30 you get in the book. $100 you get all 4 books. Every penny of this is going to print extra copies. I'm in the process of working with a publisher that's going to sponsor this book throughout the entirety of it. They're super excited. They love the idea. They want to work with me directly, and they want to make this a partnership. So I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to get the books as close to cost as possible, which means more books for the kids. Like I want like a FedEx truck to pull up with like a pallet stacked to the ceiling, and Mark to be like, "What's that?" And like, I don't know. It just says CatCat and Piggygirl, and they just, he's like, "You guys got a forklift?" And just a whole pallet of comics. And like I said before, I sent Mark an email. I said, "I hope you have room for about 2,000 comics." Smart. And so that's what my goal is. I want to be able to print 2,000 copies, guys. So share this.
If you don't have a forklift, I know that Russ has a really good back, so he'll just carry them himself.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I got the weight of the world on my shoulders, bro. I've been told by the local PD to stop paying
right now, Russell can carry a comic as long as there's no backer board in there. If there's a backer
he's done.
Yeah, there's a backer board. I'm done. Wait until the 27th. Then I'm gonna be Bionic Man. I'm really hopeful that this works. I've been in so much pain, to be honest. I've put everything aside for the last 2 weeks, and I've been working and in bed. That's why I stopped the shows, guys. I've been concentrating on trying to get stuff full done, trying to get the Kickstarter set up for this because my part of this is done. Rodney and Tina are going to do a lot of the stuff for me while I'm out with surgery. I know it sounds kind of stupid to be like, why are you doing the Kickstarter? If there's a chance you're not going to be able to promote it, because I don't want to put it off. This is something we've been working on since November. I want to get it out there, and I know you guys are going to share it. I know everybody's going to promote the heck out of it. Like I said, please tell retailers about it, because I want everybody to have copies of this book, to have it in their store, because this really is a great story. You've got a child that has, a disability that is rising up, and the story is just adorable. I think it turned out really good. I think Chuck did a halfway decent job of editing it.
Oh, I know Chuck had to do probably the most. I had to do, but I know a lot of work on that. I'm sure Chuck had to put a lot of work on that.
I'm going to be humble and just say thank you.
No, Chuck didn't have to do too much edits to it.
No, that was good.
Just some janky stuff for me being crazy. But Luis Torres is sponsoring the cosplay covers. Awesome. Codex Entertainment. Oh, Luis is here. Hello. I was under the impression Steph Wilson and CB Zane were going to be here. You can imagine my disappointment when Chuck popped up on my screen. So in about a minute, we're going to kick all of these people out of here, Luis. You're going to be sadly disappointed that you came in at the wrong time as I kick Stef Kerry and Chuck out and bring April in here pretty soon. So you done messed up now. Hey, Ron. So I just wanted to take the time to bring you guys on, let people meet you. Again, I'm going to be linking this to the Kickstarter. So if people want to know anything about the people that had a part in this project, Kerry had started the idea. Stef graciously did a cover because Kerry pressured him to, and I'm just kidding.
Yeah, Chuck,
and then
Kerry's fault.
This is all Kerry's fault. We'll blame her.
I don't think it's a good idea.
Kerry had an idea, and we all ended up doing free work. Like, great idea.
Hey, Kerry's like, here, let me spark an idea. Here, you write a story. I'm gonna make Stef do a cover for it.
It's for the kids.
It's for the kids. That's right.
We'll have a talk next time we're at a show together, young lady.
Hi, Kevin. Thank you so much for supporting the project. I'm hoping by Tuesday we get 100 followers on this. Again, people, please share this out. Again, thank you, Kerry, for the idea. Thank you, Stef, for donating your time, not only for the cover. Kerry, thank you for coloring the cover and doing the logo for me. I know I asked a lot for it. And thank you for
I
doing the
get- I don't-
sketches. Thank you for doing the sketches and the books. That, you know, guys, I'm looking real quick. I put a post out there looking for art. If anybody wants to do fan art, I can cut you in on whatever, you know. I'm not asking for free work. If you guys want a portion of whatever, if anybody wants to do fan art to put up as an add-on, to put up as a tier with the book, this is extra money we can raise to print a bunch of books with no overhead. That's where the idea came from. I reached out to Carrie and said, hey, I know I left those books there for you guys to auction off on a stream for CB4K. What do you think about doing it as an add-on? So Steph was gracious enough to knock them out, put sketches in the front. We're going to add those on. There's no overhead on this. So when you guys pledge for these books with these sketches, I can do a wicked stick figure. Hey, you know what?
I'll send it out to you next week.
I will say one. Oh,
You go ahead. You're still in, Chuck. They can hear you.
Okay.
So these are the
those are
add-ons
great.
real quick, everyone.
I will say one thing. Oh, no. Let's look at these first. Oh, that's great. So those of you who want to get paid for these sketches and whatnot, understand that the rest of us didn't get paid for anything. So you coming out and going, oh, yeah, but I really like a cut. I want you to look at the other, 8 people involved who didn't take anything and just ask all of us for a cut. We'll gladly give it to you. We don't have a problem with that at all.
No. And you know what?
Well-
Jeff, if you think about it, now it was Carrie's idea. Hey, do a comic for CB4K, right?
I
But
just sparked the
Russell-
seed.
Right. Russell's the genius. Because think about it, Jeff. Russell's creating a comic book and not paying anything for it. That's just awesome. Here we are trying to, you guys, Chuck, you're going to try and kickstart Belial and get the funds to pay for the book. No,
Yep.
Russell's like, oh, I want to do a comic. I'll just get all the work for free.
And we're
will bat her eyes at you, and that's what makes it all worthwhile.
right. We're the idiots who jumped on. We're like, yeah, we'll do it. We're here. I wasn't even asked. I jumped on during a show and was like, oh wait, everyone else is doing this free work. Yeah, I'm in. Let's do it.
Right.
You know what? It's not about that. It's like you're getting to contribute to a community of those
Yeah.
that really can't do much. They're young. They're in suffering. There's a lot of things that go into, I don't know, just signing up to do something that matters. And this is it.
Are you reading a script Russell gave you?
No,
I didn't get a script.
side.
It's-
This is my sappy side. Whereas
See,
Max
but
can be in person. He actually
well,
Okay.
listen, I just don't want people to think I'm asking for free work. I hate putting
Yeah.
out there and saying, hey guys, does anybody want to do fan art for this? Because I'm really looking to print as many books as possible. If anybody does fan art and donates their art to this Kickstarter, like you said, there's no overhead on this. If I make $150 off of the art, I can add it to the package because they're already pledging for a book. And that $150 goes to printing, another 50 copies of books of the comic.
And all those books just go straight to the kids, right?
Yep. All those books go straight to the kids. Every book that I print overrun is going to CB4K. I'm keeping none. I'm buying myself copies for the kids. But let's see, what paid sponsorship is in full effect. I'm going to create a how can I do it for free? Get out of here.
But anybody
So-
worth their weight in salt is going to do this because it matters, and that's why we do this. It's a passion. It's a form of expression, whether it be through writing or through art. Oh, there is a tongue.
There he is.
Oh, wow.
But
You
Steph
see
and
it.
Carrie,
The
thank you
buttons.
again for coming on. I know you guys got family over.
Yes.
I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you again for everything you've done, and we'll see you around, guys.
Thanks.
Bye.
Jeff.
Thank you.
April.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Chuck's getting attacked.
I know. I'm trying to go around the dog. Okay.
So, Chuck, I know you got family too, buddy. Thank you for popping in, even though you were late.
I promise it was for a good reason. I swear.
I know. I just had to say that. Buddy,
No, of
have
course
a
you
great day.
But for those of you out there who don't think that we're taking this seriously, I want you to understand. I've been on here for about 15, 20 minutes now, and I didn't say one swear word. So if I'm not taking this seriously, now you know. My name is Chuck, and I care. I'm out.
Bye, Chuck. Thank you so much.
Peace out, guys.
Peace out. Yeah, well, we kind of ran over your time 5 minutes, so I had to bring you out, and I wanted to let them go because they got family down for Easter. I know it was kind of a bad day to say, hey, let's get on and do 15-minute segments and talk to everybody about this so I can link it to the Kickstarter because I want to do a Meet the Creator, you know?
This is a great time to introduce this project to the family members because you're like, oh, you're actually doing something other than TNA? Tell me more. It's children. You know what? I'll contribute this time. Here's, just make a pledge in my honor. That kind of thing.
Well, I'm taking this. I'm making this like mega serious. Like I'm gonna make a QR code that goes to the Kickstarter. And like I'm gonna print out this like super big printout that I'm gonna put on the parts window at my second job, and where all the techs walk up and be like, "Do you hate kids?" Because if you don't back this, you obviously hate kids. And then I'm just gonna have the QR code, so then they're gonna scan it and be like, "Well, I don't hate kids. I don't want to be a kid hater." And they're like, "Oh man, I have to back it, or I'm a kid hater." No, I'm just kidding. I just
like panhandlers at the freeway.
Yeah. But no, I'm gonna put it up. Hey, what's up, Rob? So I'm gonna put it up to where I guess I should be putting the link for the Kickstarter, and that would be the smart thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Nobody said I was smart. I've been having a rough time. Like for the people joining in, I had kind of a stroke last week, and so my brain is not operating properly.
You kind of had something of a stroke.
Yeah, it was like a mini one. When I was in the hospital last week and I was in all that pain, my blood pressure was through the roof. And so, like, it totally scrambled my brain. So, folks, there's the link to that. I apologize. I should have put that in there. So, yeah, it's part of the reason why I quit doing the lives is because the last few weeks have really been a struggle for me. I really want to, how do you kind of have a stroke? Well, it was a mini one. It wasn't a full-blown thing.
Like a TIA?
Huh?
Like a TIA?
I don't know what that is.
Okay. Not a real stroke, but like a pseudo stroke.
Yeah, I don't know, something like it. They weren't worried about it, so I wasn't worried about it. I just know that, like, I'm just kind of like, when I try to talk, I know what I want to say, but it doesn't come out. And so, like, I got something miswiring going on from it. But it's gotten better. Trust me, last week was terrible. It took me like 10 minutes just to like try to say what I'm trying to say. So I'm glad that's gone away. But anyway, so we're going to talk to you about your part of the book. So you did a cover for the book. You've donated your time. You did this beautiful shirt. Hold on, folks. We'll bring it up here. Sorry, guys. My producer left. That's Wendy's. So we'll show off Wendy's. So there's Wendy's shirt. She said, what's your idea for a shirt? And I said, well, how about a little girl reading a book? She's in a wheelchair, but she's imagining running into a building and saving a boy's puppy and bringing it out. She's like, I think that's awesome. It's adorable. I'm on it. And she did a great job. And then April goes, well, what idea do you have for me? And I'm like, what about a girl who has cancer and she's sitting in the bed and she's reading a book and she's dreaming about being a superhero, which is absolutely phenomenal. The piece turned out great. And April donated the original art to this. She sent it to me with the Kickstarter and said, here, auction this off. So I auctioned it off. And then April was even gracious enough on top of that to say, hey, if they donate X amount because the person wanted it colored, because it was just lines and inks, she's like, have them out on this much and I'll color it. So April not only donated the art, I mailed it back to her and she colored it for the money to send to CB4K, which was absolutely awesome. So I want to ask April, what does CB4K mean to you?
I have always been really passionate about giving back to the community, whether it's through, I don't know, donations of art or just mentorship. And I volunteer at my kids' schools. I try to help out in, little places along my community. And this just feels like a natural outreach into that into that arena, being able to make a difference to people who don't know who I am, and they don't need to. They have, I don't know, the ability to have toys or to be able to read items, whether it be books or comics, or to have art supplies. I used to work in the hospital setting for, oh gosh, decades. I feel really old now. But I come from a really long line of like nursing parents and family members. And my day job for like 2 decades was working in a hospital, whether it be the emergency room or critical care or whatever. And it makes a difference to pass out stickers or to be like, hey, you went through this whole thing, like, here, have a little dinosaur or whatever. It makes it easier to be able to, like, hey, you strived, you overcame, you did a great job. You know, even when you get to go to the doctors and they give you a lollipop, you're like, yeah, I earned this because I'm so awesome. Wah!
Well, to kind of expand on what you're saying, April. So I've spent my fair share of time in the NICU and the PICU, and the sad reality is a lot of people don't think about this or understand this, but like Cardinal Glennon is one of the top hospitals in the nation here in St. Louis. And people from New York, people from California, people from Washington, all over the nation, even people from out of the country send their kids to this hospital to get surgeries and procedures done. They spend weeks and months in the hospital. Their parents have to work to keep a roof over their child's head when they come home. They're not able to be there at the hospital. So when I spent time with Roderick in the PICU for a month after, his second open heart surgery, there's kids in the PICU that are 6, 7, 8, 3, 4 years old that spend weeks on end by themselves because their parents can't afford to travel back and forth and spend time with their kids. So these kids are going through these open heart surgeries. There was a kid next to us that had an open heart surgery. There's kids that are going through chemo that are immunocompromised and their parents can't visit them. Nobody can visit them. And so this book was written to give them comfort, to give them an idea to say, hey, I can go on superhero adventures with my stuffed animal. And another thing that we haven't talked about is I'm going to create a page, CatCat and Piggygirl, for kids to send pictures in with their stuffed animal to give them excitement because they are going to get a chance to possibly be in book 2 as a sidekick. Each book as I go on, I'm going to pick a kid that's posted on the site and, give them the excitement to say, hey, I might be a sidekick in the next book. I got my Rhino. I'm going to be, Rhino Boy or and then the other thing is this is going to create a community for the kids because you got kids that are posting pictures of them. They might talk about what's going on in their life, and you might get another kid, say Timmy gets on there, and John just posted about having leukemia treatment done, and Timmy is getting ready to have one done, and Timmy reaches out to John and says, hey, I'm really scared. Is it bad? This gives them not only the chance to be excited, but it creates a community for them to talk amongst each other and be able to support each other. Because, as parents, we communicate on a different level. Oh, it's going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. Because inside we're torn apart, but we want to comfort them. But kids understand each other better. And so that was the idea behind this. Not only are we creating a way for them to imagine in their heads with their stuffed animal, we're creating a community and we're creating excitement through giving them a chance to be in the next issue. So I think it's really cool.
I was in and out of the hospital a lot through surgeries for my ear and a couple of other like ailments that came through. Even when I had knee surgeries a little bit older, and this is my CatCat or Piggy Bear.
Oh wow, he is well loved.
Oh,
look at that.
This poor bear has had like a case of the mange, but you know what? He got me through all the stuff and all the things, even when my parents had to work or whenever that kind of stuff happened. So honestly, when you asked me to do this, I'm like, I'm going to try to make time for this because it matters.
It does. Thank you very much for taking the time to do a cover, April. I really appreciate it. And thank you for donating your time and donating pieces for the auctions. I truly appreciate that as well.
I'll wind up
We
sending
raised.
you the line art too, so you'll be able to do with it what you will. But the line
Oh,
art of
awesome. Well, I will put that on the Kickstarter as an add-on. We're gonna use this money to print more books. That's exactly what I'm looking for. So
and it'll
once
be black
again,
and white.
and maybe somebody will want it colored again. But that's exactly what I'm asking for again, folks. If anybody I don't want to compel anybody to feel like they have to do it. But if you know an artist, reach out to them, say, hey, this guy's looking for people to do fan art to add to this Kickstarter. All the money's going to go to print extra books. If they want to do it, cool. If not, that's cool as well. I just want to try to raise as much money as I can with no overhead so I can print, 2,000 copies because they have 174 hospitals. And, if they send 50 copies to every hospital, that's like 5,000 copies. So I want to get as many as possible. I want every hospital in the nation that is a part of CB4K's system to get copies of this book and to be able to share it with the kids. So I really appreciate everything you've done, April. Thank you so much for doing a cover. Once again, thank you for donating pieces to the auction. Have a great night.
Yep, you too. Bye, CD.
Bye, April.
And we've got CB Zane. What's going on, buddy?
I'm just here to talk and, hopefully put a smile on some people's faces. That's
right.
Right?
Man, your cover turned out phenomenal. Like we talked about it. I sent you the script over like a little while before, and I reached out to you and I was like, hey man, what do you think about doing a cover? And you're like, absolutely, I'll throw it in. And so first off, I want to thank you very much for donating your time and your skills to doing the cover because it's phenomenal. Like I wasn't even expecting it, and like out of nowhere, you're like, oh, here's the cover, and I'm like.
Yeah, I think I would have been offended if you hadn't asked me, or I would have volunteered to do it even if I just caught wind of it. So that was a no-brainer on my part, and it kind of was in my wheelhouse as far as like coloring and stuff goes anyway, because I could do sort of a cartoony feel to it. And I love doing that. I've had the chance to do some children's books before. And this was a whole new venture, and it was a great story and an even better cause. So I had to do my best to try to knock it out of the park. It was fun. It was heartwarming. It was everything that motivates me as an artist. So, thanks for letting me be part of it, and I'm so glad to be part of it.
Oh, you're welcome, and thank you so much too, because also CB has donated pieces for the auction as well that we've auctioned off. And it's awesome because, I mean, just in February alone, folks, we had CB4K Day on 2/22/22, and $800 is what we raised and what was sent over to CB4K. And it equates out to be about $25 a box to ship to these hospitals, which now it's probably 30, 40 bucks because shippings went up again. So, it's awesome. That's 20 boxes of stuff sent out with love to all these children everywhere. So CB, what does CB4K mean to you?
It's just an opportunity. Like I heard you talking. I know I acknowledged that already. So I'm constantly stalked by Lewis, but it's just that opportunity to sort of give back and do the right thing and just be part of something that is the greater good. I have 3 kids of my own. I've been lucky enough that they've been healthy, but Russ, I've talked with you and I've seen what you're going through, what your family goes through, the heart, the perseverance, the strength, the commitment. It's just something that, how do you not be part of it, I guess is the better way to ask it. So anytime you are ever doing anything that is raising money for kids or for the greater good, whatever falls under that, context, I will always do my best to try to be part of it. And I have some stuff I'll be sending your way too, some extra stuff, for auctioning or whatnot. And I liked what April had to say about the black and white piece. So if I have something I can turn into like a little coloring page or something, or even the cover itself, I'll send it along. I think that'd be kind of cool too.
That would be really cool, to add in like a coloring page, do like a little mini booklet as a stretch goal. Take the line art and scan it in, and if we hit a certain point, we can print that as a coloring book there.
Oh yeah,
that's a great idea.
Absolutely.
I'm trying to upload your piece now.
Okay.
Oh, I gotta mute my.
Oh wait, you muted yourself. I don't know if Russell, can you hear me? Okay. Do you know you're muted? Okay. So you're putting a lot of pressure on me because I can't sing. Nobody wants to watch me dance. So let's see. What can we talk about? Where is Louis Torres? Why isn't he part of this? He could have like added something. I've seen Louis's doodles that he does at work. So he could have done a coloring book piece perhaps, or maybe he still can. I think that's the thing. I want to see Louis step up to the plate and contribute something other than wisecracks and stuff in the comments. So, but yeah, I hope that's Stef's super cool cover too. There it is. Yeah, I wanted something that sort of captured that. I'm going to call it the old sort of Saturday morning cartoon sort of feel to it. Sort of the comic books that maybe we grew up with that just had that classic, heroes running to do their job. So that was a lot of fun to try to do that and, try to capture a little bit of your kids in there. And so it was a really good time doing that one.
Well, and it's so much fun because, when we were spending time with Stef and Kerry came up with the idea, and like I kept coming up with stuff, and I'm like, no, that's stupid. And I came up with something else. I'm like, no, that's stupid. And I'm like, how do I even write a story about, for kids? Like, what am I going to do that's really going to grab them and pull them in? What am I going to do that's really going to motivate them, that's going to inspire them, that's going to make them get out of their head and stop worrying about stuff? And then it was like, and the answer was in front of me the whole time. Roderick as a baby, well, he wasn't really a baby. He was 6 months old, so he was still a baby.
Yeah.
We went to Pineau Farms, and there was all these animals there, and he picks out this cat with the Pineau Farms t-shirt, and that became CatCat. Like, for some reason, after his first surgery, he doubled his words. The second open heart surgery, he forgot how to walk, he forgot how to talk. We had to teach him how to talk again. He's still a little behind on his speech, but that's how CatCat came to be. Well, then, Adriana was born in October the following year, so they're 18 months apart, and she was not even a month old. And I was like, we went to Pineau Farms for Halloween again, and they do these hay rides. They have this haunted house thing for the kids, and they get candy. They go through and trick or treat with the monsters and stuff, and it's really cool. It's a lot of fun. They got magic shows and stuff. And so I was like, Roderick got CatCat. I'm gonna let Adriana pick out an animal. So I took her in there, and she looked and looked, and then she just grabbed that piggy and just held on for dear life. And I was like, all right, we'll get that. So throughout the years, we've had to replace them a few times. Now they don't have t-shirts. And so I had the idea. I was going to make capes for them. I was going to have Tiffany with her customization stuff do capes and then masks. And I got bad news. I went to Pineau Farms, and they had 2 cats left, and that's it. They don't make them anymore. And so I bought those. So for Easter tomorrow, CatCat and Piggy are magically going to come back from the groomers, and they're going to be brand new. Because the old ones are so bad. But that was how the idea came. And I was like, I was just laying in bed here one night, and I'm like, what am I going to do with this story? Like, it's been almost a month, and I got this pressure. Stuff's like, what am I going to do for the cover? I'm like, I don't know. I don't even know what we're going to do. And I'm like, I've got it. And Tiffany's like, you got what, COVID? And I'm like, no, I've got the idea for the story. I'm like, what's the one thing that Roderick always takes to the hospital with him? It's his cat. That's the one thing that matters. If he doesn't have CatCat, it's the end of the world. I'm like, what about CatCat and Piggygirl? Like,
Yeah.
they can both be the superheroes.
Yeah.
Roger's got this disability with his heart issue. Kids are going to connect with that because they're in the hospital. They've got something going on.
100%.
And this will help them be inspired to go on adventures with their stuffed animal. And I'm
Yeah.
like, this is great. And maybe it'll inspire them to make their own comic with their stuffed animal. I mean, yeah, they may not draw great, but they're going to have fun doing it.
Yeah, and
And
what
so,
kid doesn't have a lovey in their life at some point that they can associate with that? And maybe maybe that's your next book, Sexy Man Beard.
Sexy Man Beard. I love it because it's Facebook user. I'm like, I've never seen that. Well, I've seen it, but it's been like 2 years. Like, somebody hasn't told StreamYard they could use their name, and we have no idea who this is. Like, somebody's stalking us. Like, I don't know if they're talking to me or talking to you, but yeah, that's our next one.
I have Man Stubble, I guess, right now. So
you got Man
it's gotta
Stubble.
be you. But
it's gotta be me. Hey, I'm excited.
Yeah. It was such a great idea for a kid's book. I mean, why not? And even that maybe is your next story where CatCat and Piggygirl take whoever like ends up being the sidekick to the secret farm, and they pick out their animal, and that gives them superpowers, or the animal has.
That's a great idea.
You know what I mean? Like, you take the reality of it and make that more of the story. So
Hey, I'm gonna have to go in the Facebook feed and go back and see who it is, because it'll tell you on Facebook. It just doesn't tell you on StreamYard.
Right.
It's so funny. It's probably like Josh. Josh probably got banned again, and so he's using his band account.
Oh, maybe.
He got on here. He was talking about hamsters. Hamster boy. But no, I really do appreciate all the help, CB. Like, I love the community that we have. You, April, Wendy, Lewis, everybody has donated stuff to auction off, raise money for the kids, and then everybody offered up their time to do this stuff. I'm so excited. Like, I really cannot wait to get the feedback from the kids when I make the page for them to go post and be like, that's what matters to me. It's not money. It's not fame. It's hearing thank you. This book really helped me out. That's what means the world. Mm-hmm. Kids that say, I love book 1, when's book 2 coming out? That's what we live for, is the excitement, the fact that it's working, it's doing its job. And it's, we write to get out of our heads, to escape from our life. And then they use this book to escape from whatever it is they're going through. So it's just like a chain where it goes through, and it's such a great thing. I was really iffy. Like I said, this was my first script. When I wrote the story for Wendy for Luna Tales, I was like, here's a story, because I write novels.
Right.
A script, a comic book. And so I sent it to her, and she's like, well, here, I'll script. She's like, well, that's not really script for me. I'm like, well, show me, please. You know? So she's like, well, I'll script it out and I'll send you a copy of it so you can see how it should be. So Carrie asked me that. I'm like, all right, here we go. I'm going to try to script my first book. And it was kind of bare bones. And I think it was good to do a children's book first, because I wanted to be more visual than words. Because, I want, 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, kids that can't really read words yet, to be able to go through it and understand what's going on without a whole lot of words. And then the kids that are older can read it with the words and stuff. So I think it was a lot of fun. And, sending it to you, sending it to other people, and hearing the feedback going, oh my gosh, that's so cute. Yeah. It really made me happy that I did something that is truly going to touch kids.
And it's kind of neat too, like from a creative standpoint, to get out of your comfort zone. Like you talk about writing novels, which in and of itself is a challenge beyond challenges. I've thought about writing a novel. I have a story in my head. I don't know if I'll ever have time to do it or the patience to sit and do it, because I'm a very impatient writer. I'm a very impatient artist too. I want everything to happen now and quickly. And so I don't know, maybe someday that story will be there. But there is a children's story I want to tell too at some point, but it's completely different writing. And it's fun. It's different. That's one of the things I like as a writer, is going outside my comfort zone. I remember, like, as a kid, I always wrote horror stories, and it was and everyone knew me for writing horror stories until I got to the point where I was like, well, I don't want to be just, as much as I love horror stories, I want to write something else. So let me try writing a love story, you know. So and it's just cool. It's neat to challenge yourself to see if you can do it. And you know, obviously CatCat and Piggygirl turned out great. And like I said before, the fact that it is for this reason, for a good reason, that the story has heart and it's got heart behind it. You can never go wrong with that. You just can't. Period. You know.
Well, yeah, and I was super worried. Like I submitted it to Kickstarter, and I'm like, it's got charity all through it. Like all of this profit is going to charity. And I made sure to word it that the profit was going to the charity because people are buying books, they're getting books, but these books are getting sent to charity. And I know Kickstarter's real big on not allowing that, and I know a lot of the reason is because it's a tax nightmare for them because if you're donating the money, then
Yeah.
it's technically it's a tax write-off, and then they would have blah 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 blah. So I'm like, I don't know how to do this. Kickstarter's gonna like reject it, and it took forever too. I was supposed to get an answer on the 12th. I didn't get one till the 14th, like at the end of the day. 5 minutes before Kickstarter closed, I got approved.
Mm.
And they're like, this is a fantastic idea. This is a really cool concept. I hope it works out.
Oh.
And so I'm like, give me a project we love because
Yeah.
this is an awesome project. You know,
Right.
just give it a project we love, put it on the top, let everybody see it because this needs as many eyes as possible.
Right.
I want retailers to see it and buy this book, get it in their store because we need
Mhm.
more kids' books. A lot of people don't write kids' books because they don't sell.
Yeah.
But there's a lack of kids' books. Like even every week on Diamond Distributing through the Previews World pull box, I go on there and look for kids' books for the kids, and there might be one book that week that comes out, like
Right.
a one shot from Boom Studios,
Right.
and it's like it's just a one shot. It's not even a continuing series, and it's like,
Yeah.
all right, well, I guess I get this book and they can read it, and then it's over. So
Yeah.
this is something really cool that I want to get out there. I want retailers to carry it because kids are going to get interested. Somebody will walk in, buy a comic for them, and go, I really want my kid to read comics, but there's nothing for them. Do you guys have
Right.
anything? We've got CatCat and Piggygirl. This is a perfect starter book for kids. And then them to get excited. And then when book 2 kickstarts, it does phenomenal because all these retailers buy it. So guys, please, please, please tell your
Yeah.
retailers, tell your friends, share this everywhere. I want Facebook to be so tired of seeing CatCat and Piggygirl that they're going to sponsor it and just tell everybody. So I stopped trying to tell everybody about it. Like let's let the world know. I'm like going to reach out to Ryan Reynolds and like Hugh Jackman and be like, hey, you know how you guys do this pretend hate videos where you hate each other? Which, by the way, if you haven't seen it, go watch the Ryan Reynolds ad where he does an ad for Hugh Jackman's coffee company and Hugh Jackman does an ad for his alcohol company. Because if you haven't seen that, it is the funniest video ever. I'm not going to say anything to spoil it. Just go watch it. But they need to do a video about CatCat and Piggygirl because they play comic book characters. I'm going to reach out to them. Like, hey, Hugh Jackman, Ryan Reynolds, if you're watching right now, which I know
Yeah.
you're not, but anybody, if you know these people, tell them, like, hey, we need to talk about CatCat and Piggygirl because it's for the kids. And,
Yeah.
and you guys make movies for kids. And so let's spread the love.
You know, and maybe you could even you know, like go to what are some of those sites called where you can like hire a celebrity? You know, I'm forgetting the name of half of one. There's a couple.
Cameo.
Yeah, Cameo is one. You know, you might even be able to do that and kind of work that into an endorsement somehow, even if you can't do it. You know, it might be an investment worth doing. I don't know.
Yeah, that's been one of my thoughts was doing a cameo, like seeing
Yeah.
if Ryan Reynolds or Hugh Jackman's on there, or like anybody that's like plays a comic book character.
Yeah.
You know, have them come on as like the Green Lantern and be like, "Don't be the worst superhero in a superhero movie. Get CatCat and Piggygirl," because like his hatred for that Green Lantern movie is just like phenomenal. I want him to try to work it in there somewhere. Be like, all right, man, you got to figure out something. You got to work in the Green Lantern thing, make it funny. You know, take a shot at Hugh Jackman. So
Yeah.
somebody sends it to him and tags him on TikTok. So he goes and watches it, and then he gets on. You know, we gotta figure out a way to create a chain here, where like all these celebrities just like start dissing each other, and the other one has to respond back, and
There
then
you go.
they promote CatCat and Piggygirl. See, that's how you do it. You just start a chain. You just start some beef with another
Right.
celebrity, and then that celebrity fires at this one, and just talk bad about Scarlett Johansson or something,
Right.
and then Chris Evans. Like, let's get them all.
We could start the chain. Like I could say something about Lewis and CatCat and Piggygirl, but it won't go any further than Stef probably. For Lewis anyway.
Yeah, well, I
If we
mean,
get
he has.
Stef stands though. You're golden.
Yeah, I mean, well, you never know. Steph might cut him off from his Wi-Fi, so he is out in his yard, so he may not even be able to see the post or reply back.
True. It's true. But if he gets a stepladder and looks in the window, maybe some markers and a nice big poster board.
But I'm gonna let you go.
All right.
CB, thank you so much for being on. I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody that came on tonight.
Before you go into your final little soliloquy, thank you, Russell, for doing all of this, putting yourself out there, sharing your experience with that you go through with your family. It says a lot about you as a person, as a man, as a father, as a husband. I am constantly in awe of what you do for others. So, my part's easy. I just have to follow what you're throwing out there, and I'll do whatever I can. But the fact that you are leading the charge, thank you.
No, thank you. I appreciate that very much.
And thanks for having me tonight.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Thank you so much for being on. Thank you for donating your time for doing the pieces for the auction. Thank you for donating your time for doing the cover. Everyone, please get a copy of CatCat and Piggygirl. All proceeds are going to print other copies. These books are going to be sent to CB4K to help inspire children who are sick and in the hospital alone. Give them something to give them some sort of hope, solace, and give them something to be inspired to get out of their head, pretend to be a superhero with their stuffed animal, give them a chance to be excited by being a sidekick in the next book. And it's going to create a community for these kids to communicate with each other, because it's the one thing as a father that I see most that I struggle with is I can't explain things to Roderick. When he asks why he has to have open heart surgery, so when he's scared and I tell him it's going to be okay, I don't communicate on his level. I'm an adult. I'm just like, oh, it's going to be okay, Roderick. Even though, like I said earlier, I'm torn apart on the inside. But this will give a chance for kids to be able to communicate with each other and on the same wavelength, and give that Roderick or another child something we can't give as parents, and that's support, because they're the ones that have gone through this stuff. So everyone, thank you so much for coming and checking out the show. Please share this show with your friends. Let them meet the creators. Let them meet the people who have been a part of this awesome project. Let's do double digits on this. If any project they ever do does double digits, this is what I want it to be, because 100% of this is going to help the kids. Once again, if there's any artists out there that want to do a fan piece for me to add to the Kickstarter, this project will be running until mid-May. It launches Tuesday. It's going for 30 days. I can add add-ons at any time. So please, do a piece, reach out to me, say, hey, I want to add this to the Kickstarter, send it to me. That's no overhead for me. That's 100%. Hey, we can print 50 extra books, because this piece sold for $150. So I hate asking for that, but guys, we're a community. This is our chance to give back, our chance to give to kids. We buy books all the time, spend $100, $200 on Kickstarters. This is just $30 and you're helping kids. So thank you so much, everyone, for being here. This has been Russ Explode Studios with projects that'll blow your mind. CatCat and Piggygirl is going to be coming in hot, so squeal and meow your way in.
Yep.
Have a good night.